Most travelers think they're prepared for takeoff. But even seasoned flyers forget the critical things you should never do before a flight. And some of these mistakes, they can ruin your trip, trigger delays, or even get you flagged by airport security. In this video, we'll expose the things you must avoid before flying, because what you don't know can cost you. Putting your passport and cash in a small pouch might feel smart, but that tiny bag could cause huge problems. Think about it. You've already got a backpack and a carry-on. Now you're juggling a third mini bag with your most important items? Bad move. Small bags are easy to misplace, hard to track, and even easier to steal. Lose your backpack? There's a good chance it'll get noticed and turned in. Lose a tiny pouch? It disappears without a trace. Thieves love them too, because they can slip one into a pocket, no questions asked. And if that pouch holds your passport and boarding pass, you're not flying anywhere, so don't risk it. Keep your critical documents in a secure pocket, zipped, close to your body and always within reach. One slip, and your entire trip could vanish with that tiny bag. Most travelers skip online check-in thinking, "I'll deal with it later." But that small delay could cost you your seat. Here's the harsh truth. Airlines overbook flights all the time. And if you show up without checking in ahead of time, you're the easiest person to bump. Online check-in sends a clear message. This passenger is confirmed, committed, and already on the radar. And it's not just about security. You get better seat choices, earlier boarding, and sometimes even bonus perks. Packing light? Then why waste time at the counter? Skip the desk and head straight to security like a pro. Waiting until the last minute might seem harmless, until you're told your seat's been given away. There's nothing worse than this airport surprise. You lift your bag onto the scale, and that check-in agent gives you the look. Overweight by 2 pounds. Now it's decision time. Pay the hefty fee, or start unpacking at the counter. Embarrassing? Absolutely. But here's the crazy part. Most of that extra weight? Totally avoidable. A full-size shampoo, shaving gel, and deodorant. That's nearly 2.5 pounds right there. And guess what? Paying for that overweight charge can cost 3 times more than just buying those same items at the airport or your destination. Weigh your bags at home. Pack smarter, not heavier. Or get ready to become the person repacking underwear next to the check-in desk. Imagine this. You finally board your flight and, discover you're trapped next to the bathroom for 7 hours with no legroom. And yeah, no charger port in sight. It didn't have to be this way. Most people don't realize that seat maps are public. Sites like Seat Guru show you everything. Which seats don't recline, which ones have extra legroom, which ones are next to noisy galleys or smelly restrooms. You don't need a secret code, just a few minutes of research. So before you click confirm seat, make sure you're not booking misery in row 31. Plastic wrap might look secure, but honestly, it's a trap waiting to happen. Sure, it keeps scratches off your suitcase and maybe it feels safer. But what if you left your passport inside? Now you're at the check-in desk, and the only way to get it is to destroy your $20 wrap job with a key or pen. It's wasteful, frustrating, and honestly, bad for the environment. Flight attendants and airport staff hate it too, because it slows down inspections if they need to open your bag. Want real security? Use a TSA-approved lock. Or, better yet, invest in a reusable luggage cover. Your bag stays protected, and you avoid looking like you're battling a giant roll of cling film at the airport. You finally made it through passport control. Now it's security time. And well, the race begins. Most travelers? They rush straight to the first checkpoint they see, the one with the longest line. Why? Because they assume it's the only one open. Or they're just too tired to walk 50 feet farther. But here's the truth. The last security lanes are often wide open, empty, faster, quieter. You could skip 20 minutes of waiting just by walking a little farther down the hall. So next time, don't follow the crowd, follow the quiet, and save yourself the stress. You know the rule, 3.4 ounces or less. All liquids in a clear, resealable bag. So why do so many people still get flagged at security? Because honestly, they forget what they packed. That big bottle of shampoo you threw in last minute? Gone. The pricey perfume you didn't move to your checked bag? Gone. And here's what most travelers don't know. Even if the bottle has less than 3.4 ounces inside, if the container itself is too big, security will toss it anyway. They can't measure what's inside, so if it looks too big, it's not flying. Save your products and your time. Double-check your liquids, use travel-sized bottles, and keep everything visible in a clear bag. Security will thank you, and your wallet will too. You made it through security, finally. So now it's time to relax, browse a little, maybe treat yourself. Right? Not so fast. Because this is exactly where most travelers slip up. Duty-free zones are massive on purpose. Some are so big, you couldn't see it all in 2 hours even if you tried. And guess what? That's by design. Airports want you distracted, wandering through endless perfume aisles, testing chocolates, forgetting what time it is, and that's how passengers miss boarding calls, even when the gate's just down the hall. So don't fall into the trap. Shop quick, set an alarm, and always know your gate, because that $20 souvenir could cost you a $200 rebooking fee. It always starts with a little voice. Let's try something adventurous before the flight. Ignore that voice. Trying exotic dishes right before takeoff is a rookie mistake. Your stomach has no idea how it'll react to new spices or rich ingredients, and a cramped airplane cabin is the worst place to find out. Here's why it gets worse. At cruising altitude, cabin pressure drops, and when that happens, gas in your stomach expands. Translation: indigestion, bloating, and the constant urge to unbutton your jeans. Even simple meals can backfire if they're too salty, greasy, or foreign to your gut. If you want to stay comfortable, eat something safe and familiar. Or stick to foods that fight bloat, like turmeric, potatoes, or pineapple. The plane's already uncomfortable. No need to turn it into a floating stomachache. Turbulence hits everyone differently. For some, it's just a mild shake. For others, it's a full-blown stomach disaster. Nausea, dizziness, that sinking feeling for hours. If you're sensitive to turbulence, timing is everything. The smoothest flights? Usually in winter, early morning, or late at night. Here's why. Turbulence is caused by rising air pockets called thermal air parcels. And when the sun heats the Earth, those air bubbles rise and stir the skies. Less sun means fewer rising air currents, which equals calmer skies. So, book early or late flights to dodge the bumps. It won't eliminate turbulence completely, but it might save your stomach from doing flips at 30,000 feet. You don't have to be a germ freak, but airports are a bacteria buffet, and guess what's one of the dirtiest things you'll touch? Not the toilet, not the armrest, it's those plastic trays at security. Yep, the same ones everyone tosses their shoes, belts, and phones into. Studies found they carry more germs than a public restroom. So do yourself a favor. Pack some antibacterial wipes or sanitizer. Wipe down your tray, your seat, your tray table, and anything else you'll touch before eating. It takes 10 seconds, and might save you from spending your vacation in bed with a fever. Jet lag hits 93% of flyers, and yet most travelers do nothing to stop it. First step, change your watch to the local time before you land. This helps trick your brain into adjusting early. Next, split your sleep. Nap for half the flight, then stay awake the rest. Stay hydrated like it's your job. And if you really want to fight fatigue, snack on water-rich foods like watermelon, cucumbers, or strawberries. No one wants to land in paradise feeling like a zombie. So prep your body before touchdown.
Remember the last time you squeezed into your airplane seat, bracing for hours in the sky? Sure, flying gets us there fast, but let's be real, it's not always a smooth ride. Crammed seats, crying babies, dry air. Sound familiar? That's why I've gathered 7 Flight Hacks airlines hope you never find out. And they'll change the way you fly forever. Quick heads up, if you love travel hacks like this, hit subscribe now so you never miss a trick airlines don't want you to know. Let's be real, nothing beats scoring the window seat. Clouds, cities, sunsets, it's unbeatable. It's like your own private nook in the sky, cozy, quiet, and all yours. But here's the catch. Window seats get cold, like shivering even with a blanket cold. Planes are engineering marvels, but comfort, that's not their strong suit. Up at 35,000 feet, the plane's outer shell can hit minus 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than Antarctica. You won't turn into an icicle, but that chill? It creeps in, especially on long hauls. But don't worry, this one's an easy fix. Just toss a light jacket or cozy sweater in your carry-on, even if you're flying to paradise. Better to be snug than stuck freezing in your seat for 6 hours. Bonus tip: forget your layer? Ask the flight attendant for a blanket. They've got your back. You've just buckled in, the plane's rolling toward takeoff, and the flight attendant hands you a hot drink. Sounds nice, right? Coffee, tea, it feels like first-class treatment. But before you take a sip, there's something you really need to know. That hot water? It usually comes from tanks that rarely, and I mean rarely, get properly cleaned. And it's not just rumors. Actual studies show that airplane water is kind of disgusting. We're talking E. coli, staph, and bacteria you definitely don't want floating in your tea. So what should you drink instead? Easy. Bottled water or sealed juice only. If it's sealed, it's safe, and way more refreshing than mystery tank water. Hydration's important, but not at the cost of gulping down germy water. So do yourself a favor. Go sealed, stay safe. All right, time for some airplane hygiene real talk. And it's not what you think. Everyone knows planes are flying germ factories, but you haven't heard the worst part yet. Because the filthiest spot on board? It's not the bathroom. Sure, the lavatory is gross, but there's a hidden hotspot that's way worse. It's that tray table you're about to eat off. Yep, that thing is a germ nightmare. Hundreds of hands touch it every day, and who knows what else has been on it. People eat off them. And yes, even change diapers on them. Flight crews try to clean, but trays often get skipped in the mad dash between flights. Runner-up for dirtiest spot? Those seat back pockets you're tempted to stuff everything into. We all toss snacks and phones in there, but those pockets are almost never cleaned. So how do you avoid these sneaky germ zones like a pro? It's simple. Just be prepared with a few easy moves. First, throw a pack of sanitizing wipes into your carry-on. Non-negotiable. Wipe that tray the second you sit down, and give the seatback pocket a once-over while you're at it. Let's be honest. Nothing kills vacation vibes faster than being trapped at the airport with a delayed flight. But what if I told you there's a ridiculously simple trick that slashes your chances of delays? It's all about timing, and most people get this part wrong. Flight delays snowball as the day goes on. One late plane leads to another, and another. One late flight in the morning triggers a ripple effect that can wreck your whole day, or even your entire trip. So here's the travel hack. Book the earliest flight you can, always. The earlier you're in the air, the less chance you'll hit any delays. It's that simple. And bonus, morning flights are usually smoother for anyone who hates turbulence. Morning air is calmer, which means your flight's smoother, quieter, and just plain better. You land on time, feel more rested, and start your trip off right. So next time you're booking, do yourself a favor. Wake up early and grab that morning flight. Everyone thinks the front of the plane is where all the perks are. Sure, first class gets the fancy seats, the champagne, the VIP treatment, but believe it or not, there's a secret perk to sitting in the back of the plane. Yep, those rear rows, they might actually get better service. When you're in the back, it's easier for crew to sneak you an extra snack or drink, without the whole cabin watching. And if the galley's behind you, crew is nearby ready to help, fast. No aisle traffic, no squeezing past carts. It just makes their job easier. Now sure, it's not first-class service, don't expect champagne, but if you want a smoother experience and maybe a little extra love from the crew, the back's where it's at. So next time you book, don't overlook the back. It might just surprise you. Let's talk neck pillows. That tiny travel essential that can make or break your flight. Inflatable neck pillows can be a total lifesaver when you're trying to sleep at 30,000 feet. They keep your head from bobbing around and help you avoid that dreaded neck cramp. But here's a travel fail you'll want to avoid. Never fully inflate your neck pillow before takeoff. As the plane climbs, cabin pressure drops, and the air inside your pillow expands. If it's fully inflated on the ground, it might literally pop mid-air. And yes, it happens. The fix? Super simple. Just leave a little wiggle room when inflating it. It might feel a bit squishy at first, but mid-air, it firms up just right for a comfy nap. One small adjustment now saves you a big mid-flight headache later. Let's face it, airplane food is, well, not winning any awards. But here's a little-known trick that can totally upgrade your in-flight meal. Order the special meal. Now you're probably thinking, but I'm not vegan, gluten-free, or allergic to anything. Doesn't matter. You don't need dietary restrictions to score the perks. Here's the deal. Special meals are made in smaller batches and loaded first, so they're often fresher and way better tasting than the regular stuff. Bonus, you usually get your meal first. More time to eat, relax, or dive into your book. Don't be afraid to switch it up. Special meals might just surprise you in the best way. Sometimes, leveling up your travel is as simple as thinking outside the tray. Next time you book a flight, check that special meal box and thank yourself later. And there you have it. 7 flight hacks that could totally transform your next trip. These small tweaks can help you stay comfy, skip the stress, and maybe even enjoy your time in the sky. Got travel buddies? Hit share and pass these tips along. No one deserves a cold seat or a germ-filled drink. Safe travels.